Craig, hitting defense, seems like he had everything cornered today.
Yeah, I mean, I think it starts with Shota today with seven great innings. Just on the attack, lots of strikes. Split finger was excellent today. Anytime you get 7 innings from your starter, you're in good shape.
A bunch of us are sitting there in March after Shota's start in spring training. He says that the key for me is to control the damage and make sure that when I do give up a home run, it's a solo shot. It seems like he's been in pretty good control there the last 5 or 6 starts.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's done a really good job of controlling the damage for sure, and that's without walking people, which I think is harder to do, right? So I think when he does that, he's going to have success. There's no question about it, and I think that's what we've seen the last 5 or 6. You're right.
Seen get some double play, obviously gets the fly ball outs, but
yeah.
On the ground.
Yeah, I mean, we played a good defensive game, for sure. Pete made a nice play. The double plays were a nice play. Even in the play in the 9th inning that Dancy picked up for Nico was a nice play. So, those add up. They just make the pitcher's job easier, and we're doing a good job of that.
7 starts now. He's got a low 2. Just had that rough stretch right before that. What's been the biggest difference in this period that he was able to fix it?
Yeah, I think I'd go back to what Bruce said. Is probably he's done a really good job limiting the damage, and it's important, right? I mean, the Shota is going to give up home runs. That's the nature of his arsenal. But you have to, when they come and how they come, that has to be a part of it. And he's done a really good job of that. He is limiting the home run right now, but I think the walk limitation is also I'm a big fan of. Doing a really good job of that. It's a good start.
What does it mean to you to see the concentration that your players still have in a blowout game in the 9th inning, like the plays that were made in the 8th and 9th? Bregman said that's what this team's based on.
Yeah, I mean, I think when you put out a lot of really good defenders on a team, I think that's the type of player that you're going to get. They value outs everywhere. Bases, offensively, defensively. They know the importance of it. They take pride in it. Saw some examples of it today.
And Bregman to see just continue to do well.
Yeah, I mean, the swing in the first was really good. A couple other hard hit balls for sure. Hard hit balls yesterday. So, yeah, he's putting some good swings on the baseball and driving the baseball as well.
Pedro Ramirez had 3 scalded balls today. What have you been seeing from him that's getting into this point?
Well, we haven't seen much of Pedro, so I put him in the lineup a couple days, and he's responded. He found some holes, and then he hit some balls hard, and so he's doing good. Look, this is a young player who had a very young player who had a great AAA season, and we're a little landlocked to get him at bats. He kind of finished the first half not playing a lot, so he's getting a little opportunity. He's found some holes and had some good at bats.
One more, before the game, you mentioned Aaron Savali would be here the next couple of days. Is there a travel issue that he's facing, or is it just?
He's got 72 hours to get here, and that's how the player should have that right. He just got his life changed.
Okay.
Right.
Can you describe your attack against these hitters?
今日のその登板で相手のバッターに対しての自分の対策はいかがでしょうか。
3戦目だったので、過去の、この2試合も見ながら、自分でもある程度予想を立てながら、今日ゲームプランしていったんで、とにかく今日自分がやりたかったことがある程度できて、それは良かったことかなと思います。
It was game 3 of the series, and I was watching the first 2 games and kind of thinking about how I would attack the hitters, and felt like today I was able to execute my game plan.
Shota, over the last 6 weeks, what's been the biggest difference for you, just in terms of getting the results following that rough 4-start period you had?
ここ6週間、結果いいですけど、 その前の4つの登板がすごい苦しい時期もありましたけど、ここ6週間で何を変えられたとか、どういう調整をしたって感じですか？
今はこうやってある程度自分のいいデータ悪いデータを出してもらえるので、それをしっかりと照らし合わせながら、悪いところばかりに悪いところも改善しながら、でいいところはさらに伸ばしながらっていうところをコーチと話し合って、やった結果今だんだん良くなってきてるんで、まだ自分は完成形ではないと思いますし、もっともっと良くなれる自信はあります。
Yeah, I think with the pitching coaches, giving me feedback and data about, what I've done well, what I've done poorly, and just looking at that and, working with them and trying to, make the good points better, as well as, working on what I need to work on with data points that I wasn't doing it as well. Man, I felt like, I was able to accomplish that, and I feel like I'm not a complete pitcher yet, and I'm not the final product, and I feel like I'm pretty confident that I can get better and better.
How much will you look at this outing and dissect it to the point of maybe even a deep fly ball that was caught as to how you can improve?
例えば今日の登板を見て、例えば、深い遠くに飛ばされたそのフライが、アウトになりましたけど、そこをどうやって改善するとか、今日の登板を見て改善する部分は、自分はどう見てますか？
そうですね、ピートが深いところで取った、打球なんかは自分としては投げミスですし、キャッチャーはもう少し外すように、そしていいボールで勝負するように、要求してましたけど、自分がバッターの打ちやすいところに投げてしまったので、そこはすごい反省点ですし、本当に、ピートのキャッチも救われましたし、ああいうミスは、やってはいけないことだなと思っています。
Yeah, I think, Pete made a great play, deep in the outfield, and I think that pitch was a mistake pitch on me. The catcher wanted a different spot to set up a different pitch, but I felt like I threw it in the zone where the hitter could hit it. And so I think that's on me, and that's something I can reflect on to improve, and feel like just looking at those parts of my game and seeing areas that I need to improve on.
We're used to seeing Pete make plays like that, but what is that moment like from when you see the contact to when you turn and you see him get there and get that ball?
そのピート選手がああいうプレーをするのは多分みんな慣れてると思いますけど、実際そのマウンド上で自分が投げたボールが打たれて、振り返ってそこに取れるっていうその光景を見てどう思いますか？
本当にピッチャーとしてはもし抜けそうな打球が飛んでたとしても取れるんじゃないかっていうその期待を持ちながら、守備を見ることができますし、そうやって失点もたくさん防いでくれているので、ストライクゾーンでどんどん投げ込んでいくっていうピッチングができるので、すごく助かっています。
Yeah, I think it's really helpful, when you know that any ball that's hit to him, there's a possibility that he's going to make catch, even if you think it's going to get through. And I felt like as a pitcher, knowing that he's behind you allows you to attack the zone more. And he's been saving a lot of runs for us, so he's an impressive player.
Swings that you've been putting on the ball lately, how does it feel to come out of the break? Maybe not.
No, it feels good. Obviously, the first 2 days just felt a little off with what we were working on right before the break, but felt better today. We kind of figured out what was going wrong, so it felt good. Felt like a swing felt just like it did in Cincinnati today, which was nice. So hopefully just keep that rolling.
You've said before, but does it feel like you kind of unlocked something?
It feels better. It feels much simpler.
How much would you like to see the whole lineup kind of keep the foot on the gas early on?
No, huge. Obviously, they got a lethal offense over there. So even with the wind blowing in today, you gotta keep the pressure on. And thought just the quality of a bat up in that lineup was good.
Alex, this team has played really good baseball the last 6 weeks now. Can you just talk about the feeling in here as you guys have stepped on the gas here?
No, yeah, 100%. I feel like we played good ball. We need to just keep playing consistent throughout the rest of the year.
How big has Shota been in that stretch? Obviously, the last few starts, he's found a lot of success.
He's been good. I thought he executed all 5 pitches really well today, and that's huge when he's got his 5-pitch mix working. And but some splits were good. The spin was good. Heaters were good up. A few sinkers too as well. So thought he did a really good job.
Defensively, grab there
Mhm.
late.
Mhm.
Just how does it feel to keep the defense up?
Feels good. I feel like guys are really good at compartmentalizing when it's not going well offensively or when it is going well offensively to continue to focus on defense and separate the different phases of the game. And I think we have done a good job of that.
I think, just the ebbs and flows of the season, sometimes the mechanics are a little cleaner. And, sometimes you're getting better pitches to hit. But yeah, feel pretty good.
See the lineup produce the way it did today. How does it feel to finish a series like that?
Yeah, huge. I think, just, again, I know I said this yesterday, but just top to bottom, just grinding out at bats, making that pitcher, have his stuff for everybody in that lineup. I think it just makes his job tougher, and it gets runners on base, it gets runners in scoring position, and that we did a good job of driving guys in and getting guys on base and scoring some runs.
What's it like playing behind Shota these days?
Yeah, it's just efficient. You kind of know what you don't know exactly what he's going to throw, but it's going to be that four splitter, and I feel like guys are just super uncomfortable off of him, and they just continue to be that way. And I think he's just so efficient. You look up in the 5th, 6th inning, he's at 70, 80 pitches, and it's like he just goes out there and pounds his zone. He's aggressive, throwing strikes, and it's fun to play behind him for sure.
Michael, baseball's the ultimate marathon season, but can you talk about how this team has played really good baseball now for like the last 6 or 7 weeks?
Yeah, I think, that's just trusting the players that we have. I think we're just, playing really good defense. I think we're running the bases really well. Obviously, putting together some really good at bats, and we've had some really good outings on the mound. We've had our starters pitch really well, guys in the bullpen coming in and shutting it down. So when you have all that clicking, you're giving yourself a really good chance to win.
When Shota's efficient, like you're saying, for a fly ball pitcher, how nice is that? Given that sometimes you're maybe expecting more in the air, but you're staying engaged because this is a guy who's pounding the zone and anything can happen.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things that you don't really, can't really speak to fully, but at the same time, I think you just notice over the course of time just guys who are efficient and just, you stay in the rhythm of the game. Even sometimes, when it's not going great for anybody, it's like you still got to kind of lock it in a little bit. But yeah, Shota's been great.